Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Today I've got a quick tip for you. It's a dating trend that has been growing in frequency in 2023, which we're almost three-quarters of the way through right now. But I thought I should mention it because you may have encountered it and not known what to call it. And I wanted to share that with you today. Just a new trend, a new trendy word. This is in the same category as ghosting, but it's a little bit more subtle. If you've experienced it, you'll recognize it right away. That's what we're going to do in today's quick tip. If you're new, I'm Carey. I am a matchmaker and a dating coach, and I have a new swivel chair. And if you're new, I do things called quick tips, which are just brief little get-togethers here where I'm not going to make you hang around for 15 or 20 minutes. We don't have to dive deep into this. I'm just going to share what fizzling means with you right now. If that's interesting, don't go away. That's what's on the agenda. It happens to clients all the time where they will call and ask me, what do you think it means? Suddenly, he or she is not calling with the same frequency. I don't know if they're still interested. Did I do something wrong? How do I know? There's really no way to know unless you're having a conversation about it. But if this is happening, that they're pulling away in a slow manner, just getting back to you less quickly, with less frequency, reaching out to you. Fizzling is the word for people who are not really interested, don't want to tell you they're not interested, so they're just slowly fizzling out and melting into the background. Obviously, this is not what we're hoping for when somebody's not interested in us. We would love for them to be forthcoming and say, hey, you know what, this isn't really going to be the thing we were hoping for. Not feeling the romantic connection. I'm just enjoying your company as a friend. Something of that nature, honesty, forthrightness. But some people don't have the guts to do that, and they're just going to fizzle out on us. Actually, there are a few ways that people prefer you back away besides ghosting or fizzling. I made an episode about that. I think it was called how people want you to break up with them. I'll link to it here if you're interested in all the different ways and the statistics on how people prefer you let them know or back your way out of a relationship, end a relationship, share with this person that you don't want to see them anymore. But statistically, as I recall, it was 90% of people prefer a clear conversation letting them know that you don't want to see them anymore. That would be preferable to most people. And strangely enough, 13% more people wanted a text message rather than you having to call them on the telephone. I thought that was interesting. I think that's a more recent trend in the last, 20 years since we've been texting. Used to be that good manners required you to pick up the phone and actually speak to the person. Back in the days when we joked that people were breaking up with Post-it notes, we kind of included text messaging in that bad manners category, but not so. People don't mind that so much. If you want to text them and let them know, hey, we had a great time last night, but I'm not thinking this is going to be the romantic connection we were hoping for. Hope you have a great fall and enjoy the beautiful weather. I'm sure we'll run into each other somewhere or something of that nature. People prefer that than you giving them a quick call on the telephone. And then I just want to remind you that if you know after a first date that this isn't the one, you didn't have a good time, you didn't feel any connection, there was no vibe, red flags, tons of red flags, a straight up deal breaker or a feeling of ugh, and this is not it, let the person know. Say what I just told you to say at the end of that first date. Save yourself the effort of ghosting or fizzling and just be clear. Let this person know this is not going to be a great romance between us, and I'm disappointed too. But, I hope you have a great holiday season, and I'm sure I'll bump into you at wherever you met, or make sure you say hello to me if you see me on Bumble. Things of that nature, right? Just wish them well, but let them know they're not the one for you, which means that you're not the one for them. And there were a bunch of statistics I read, which I don't think we need to go into, but I did want to point out that sometimes this is more difficult for women because there's that fear factor. They don't want to upset somebody or make somebody angry because they have experience somebody not taking them at their word and having a different wish for this romance and coming at them much more aggressively than they would have hoped. 50 to 60% of women said that when they told someone they weren't interested, they were still contacted. Made them uncomfortable. You try to let somebody know, you try to do the right thing and be honest, and somebody doesn't want to take you at your word. And then I think it was about 19% said that they had been threatened with harm when trying to break up with somebody or let a relationship go. So fellas, just remember this: if that is anywhere in your nature to be disappointed, angry, or want to make things work anyway despite her wishes, that there's a lot of fish in the sea, and although you had a good time, that does not a connection make. You know, I think back, I'll share this quick story before I let you go, which is I was driving down 90, which is the expressway in Chicago heading down to the city, and I was driving side by side with a fella. I was single back in the day, this was. We made eye contact, and I remember thinking, I felt something there, you know? And so we just kept driving. We kept passing each other and looking and smiling. And then I thought, wow, wouldn't that be crazy if like this was my person and I found them? We just felt this great connection on the expressway in our own cars. And we like met up and after this somehow and lived happily ever after. And sure enough, he got off the expressway, never looked back, never waved. And I thought, oh, there was no connection. I was just feeling something. Sometimes that's how it is in actual dating too. Just because one person is feeling there's a connection is not indicative of the other person feeling the same way. So somebody may not be breaking up with you. They just may never have felt a nice connection or a romantic connection from the very start. So keep that in mind, that it does not always go both ways when you're feeling something. I found it really helpful when I figured it out that day. Maybe you will as well. Don't go around ghosting people or fizzling. Instead, just treat people the way you would want to be treated. That's usually your best choice. I hope you found that interesting or helpful. If you did, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel so you can come back again soon. I'm on a mission to get 50% of my viewers actually subscribed. It's a little off kilter right now. So many of you come and watch the episodes but don't hit the button. Do me a favor, please. Listen to my mother, give it a thumbs up, and hit the button to subscribe. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, have a good one. It happens to clients all the time where they, oh my God, Frank, please, why are you doing this now? Frank, what are you doing?